And we are back, and in fact, we are back directly in game.
Oh, we are muted though.
No, you are not muted. You are back. We are all good to go right now. Welcome back, friends. So let's talk a little bit. You make your way back to Mirabar. You have Thomas in tow, and admittedly, at first, it's really tough to actually get a hold of Kreetha. Like, you've got something really important to say, but Kreetha is kind of closeted up making shit.
Well, we'd have to make the journey from Mirabar back to the camp.
That's
Does that go fine? Does that go fine?
That does, in fact, go fine. There are no encounters in between Mirabar and the camp. You make your way there through. We're
being stealthy. We're
brooms again, right?
With brooms. I'm on the back of Calder's. I lend Merryweather mine.
Thomas takes a flying carpet.
That's harder to be stealthy on, Thomas. We're trying to be stealthy. we told you about the mind flayer after us. Yes, there's a mind flayer after us.
Very well, and the rug was very ostentatious, so he leaves it behind.
So yeah, I give whoever the worst of them had, like, we stealth our way through Blessing of the Trickster. Yeah.
And no, there is no almost as if they didn't have a way to clock your location or your direction in this particular case. Yeah, you are not harassed in any way on your way back to the camp.
Jen, you were saying something.
Why did I not transfer any of the information for the half plate over? Because I didn't roll. Never. No. I know exactly what I did. I had a moment of dumb. Well, it's not that I had a moment of dumb. It's that
it's fine.
That's Fantasy Grounds, and it has a really steep learning curve.
Grounds. I need to pull this over. Okay, let me make sure that worked.
So I see the half plate. Yes.
Yes.
I'm looking at your AC, which says 17. I do believe that is correct. Yes.
Oh yeah. What happened was I pulled over the word item half plate.
As opposed to the actual item itself. That's fair. That's fair.
That.
I do plan.
Words did nothing.
I do plan on doing a series of tutorial videos on specifically how to use Fantasy Grounds, because it's such a great system, and I feel like once you get to know it, it's way better than like Roll20 or anything else that I've seen so far. So yeah, it's definitely up there. I'm gonna close my door really quick. My cat is being irritating. Be right back.
Send the boy to me.
No. All right, so we all heard the DM said it. Nothing happened on the trip. We made it safely back to camp.
Yes, we make it safely back to the war camp. Let's kind of hand wave here, because I know it's only been like a few days for you, but let's do the quick scene of Hey Kreetha, and then we'll move on to what happens at the end of the 3 weeks, unless anyone else has anything else.
Calder will say, we'll ask Echo, do we want to play this quick and efficient, or we do want to play this nice?
We can be nice while being quick and efficient.
Quick and efficient is walking straight up to Kreetha, taking the plush and destroying it.
I have a bag right here we can shove it in and close the top, but it can't perceive out of the bag.
I mean, you don't know right now whether, like, okay, the question is, when you come in, am I currently with Vic?
I'm going to say odds are yes, because you're spending at least 8 hours a day building stuff, right?
Then this is currently with my bedroll.
All right, so we find you. You're like,
yeah, you find me going, I'm working on,
Kreetha.
You're back.
Where's your plush? Where's your plush? Where's the tiny Xanathar?
I'm using the detect magic wand.
It's very important. Where's your tiny Xanathar?
The thing that I put bedroll?
Bedroll, gotcha. And just like takes off. Sprinting to find the bedroll.
And in Kreetha's mind, Durgadin says it's no worry, just focus on the work.
Echo's intention is to grab it and stuff it in his own bag of holding and shut the top so that it's in its own little pocket dimension and thus cannot see around itself.
But Calder, you have the detect magic wand active. Yeah.
Well, my goal is to follow and to physically look at the plush, and if it is,
I feel like Jen has something to say first, though, because Kreetha looks very confused.
Kreetha is confused. Kreetha is like, and Durgan is like, "Don't stop. If you stop, you'll screw this up." Kreetha's like,
everything is fine. We'll ride his broom in the direction that Echo went.
So yes, there is.
That's not how I expected them to come back tonight.
So yeah, you make your way to Kreetha's bedroll in a nondescript tent, and yeah, the the plush definitely radiates magic. This is the first time you have perceived the plush.
On top of the stinky plush. That remember she picked up the stinky plush.
The straw doll.
The stinky plush does not radiate magic. The Xanathar plush definitely does. And I believe with an Arcana check, you get to figure out the school. Is that right? Is that 3.5 or is that 5?
I believe it. Like Detect Magic says, if I use an action to look at.
Okay, so you don't have to roll. You can just. It is definitely divination magic. Yes.
Sure.
Palms it, chucks it in the bag, close.
All right, since it closed, just in case. Okay, now we have a lure.
I mean, this is where I have to ask the question again, because Kreetha randomly picked up stuff. So that suggests to me that all of the stuffed Xanathar plushies must be.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great thing to talk about in the talkback. So,
yes,
moving right along.
After immediately taking care of it, we will, at the end of that day, when Kreetha and Vic are done smithing, explain to them why we were asking about the plush, where it is, what we think it has been doing, what happened
while we went away.
Yeah, we catch them up.
Just as a quick clarification.
Yes.
Is this like 20 days later, or is this somewhere in the middle?
No, we're somewhere in the middle at this point. You're still doing your thing. This is what's happening when you're not making items.
Okay.
Yeah. And I kind of want to hand wave it as much as possible, but I also am fine with like doing some role play, doing some scening. What do you want to do?
You're telling me that he's been looking at my boobs the entire time?
The other way.
Actually, no.
If it's not the entire time, probably, but also
only from not the entire time, but everything up until we gave you the ring.
Yeah, once we gave you the ring, he couldn't see you, but
that's not that comforting. I've been holding it.
But then again, you think like he doesn't even have a torso. I don't know if he cares about boobs. If that helps you at all.
I'd be worried if a beholder ever displayed that interest. They tend to be very myopic and hyper obsessed.
It's in my bag of holding. Do you want to hold it in your bag of holding?
I want to set it on fire.
See, that's what I said
too.
I don't want it to be able to do that anymore. But will it actually?
Well, my thinking is that it's a convenient lure if we ever need to face Nihilor on our terms.
Thomas is going to go ahead and jump in and say, it is possible.
How did you know it?
Simply,
I just took one.
Remove the enchantment.
Well, from what you told us about the inside of the place, it was covered in like eyes and little tiny renditions of him. Maybe he can see through anything that's.
But there were so many.
We're not overthinking this.
Plush.
It's a plush. It's meant for a children's toy. This means that if he were to sell them to children, he would have literal eyes in every home that bought a toy.
That's the most terrifying thing.
It's innocuous. It's adorable. And it's absolutely.
Yeah, we could set it on fire.
And now if we encounter them in the field, I can set them on fire. But this one is the most likely one that tipped Nihilor off on how to find us.
Can we use it to do something back? I don't know.
I mean, frankly, I'm tempted to like huck it into the middle of the orc armies to see what happens, but
no, I think either we keep it and use it in a plan, or throw it in that little forge fire you got right there.
If I may offer a third possibility, I am capable
Rob,
of
your
simply...
audio's not coming through.
Why not? Chat, is my audio coming through? Because I see
can't hear
it.
you. Sorry.
Rob, I can't hear you. I can't hear you except through the walls.
1 second.
Technical
Okay,
difficulties
one
in
more
this
time.
game.
Am I
Yay!
okay? I don't know why it muted me just in Google Meet, but there it was. Now we're here. Okay. I was saying something. Yes, and that makes sense. I was trying to interject a couple of times, but nobody heard me. So Thomas will go ahead and say, well, I could simply remove the enchantment from the item if that's if you wanted to destroy it without simply burning it. I mean, it's awfully adorable. I could remove the enchantment from it if that's your preference.
Or we can keep it and use it later.
Or you could keep it and use it later, which honestly I think I would recommend. I think that laying a trap.
Switching to Elvish, and regardless, I think you're going to want to tell your friends about that.
Perhaps I should keep it because it's best if he does not know, you know.
No, we can't give him information. We can't just let you keep carrying it around.
The last time we left him carried around, we got ambushed by a chimera in 200 feet.
No. But like you said, I also have back.
Yeah, if you want to keep it in your bag, yes.
I mean, no, but at the same time, yes. Thing is I do think that without perhaps giving away information, I should work to act like nothing is different.
When a spy is in your midst, it's better to keep the spy in your midst and feed it false information than simply excising it and not knowing where the next spy will come from. I agree.
Then I
This
propose.
is Thomas, he's a friend.
This is yes, of course. And Thomas gives a bow, and the bow incorporates
say that about spies.
The bow incorporates his cloak of fluttering like patches. And it's just the most debonair bow that anyone has ever seen ever.
I
see.
Okay, well then
In fact, he reminds you a little bit of Jarl Axel.
That guy.
You should give it back to me. And
we should have a brief conversation.
Pretend that this was a prank. Right? So bring it back to my bed.
And we should have a brief conversation about, say, Neverwinter.
It wasn't.
Let's not have that motherfucker aimed at Neverwinter, please.
He's already in Neverwinter. Don't suggest
Yeah, I know,
not.
but we don't need more.
But if he's looking for us in Neverwinter, he's not looking for us here.
Yeah, or how about we have him look for us in Silvery Moon? Because
he'll ask, how did he get to Silvery Moon? Icewind Dale is that direction.
So let's do Icewind Dale. Sorry, but I have kids in Neverwinter. Let's not aim him there.
Neverwinter's in the Icewind Dale.
Is Icewind Dale one of those things where it's a city and a county?
Yeah.
Icewind Dale is like a whole big area.
Yeah.
Yes. We go ahead and
actually, let's just throw Luskin under the bridge.
Luskin. Let's throw Luskin under the bridge. Fuck those guys.
Right,
anyway.
we'll have a brief conversation about Luskin, and then put it back, and we'll place it into your bag.
Yes. And I will say something as to the effect of, why would you steal my things or something? but they're like a prank. So
Echo's prank is going to be taking it out and chucking it at Kretha's head, saying, "Think fast, pranked," and then like,
great prank. That's good prank. Good prank.
That's what he does.
Good.
All right. So we plant false information. We've done that. Anything else before we want to skip to the end of downtime?
So, I have other idea. But
Calder will start drawing up travel maps toward Luskin.
I don't know whether it would work or not. I haven't done anything with it yet, and maybe part of what could be used as misdirection could and she pulls out a small pouch. Illusion? I mean, I'm not good with magic, but I have this. Maybe something in it could help. I don't know. I'm just trying to think. I'm throwing things at the wall.
We don't even know he's going to be actually looking in the thing when we transfer it from mine to yours. I think simple is best. Talk about Luskin. I throw it at your head. You put it in your pouch. We're done.
No, not now. But the thing
later.
is, just leave it in there.
You
It
can.
does not know because we are doing this on purpose now.
This is
I
have an idea.
Direction.
I have an idea. Let's table this until we deal with the orc army. This thing feels like a thing that can wait.
Yeah. I don't think it would surprise. I don't think it would surprise whoever is spying on us that you don't have time to cuddle a plushie when we're on a war front.
Anything else before we get to the end of the downtime period?
How about to make this very realistic? You pour something horrible on it, and it needs to be cleaned, and I don't have time. I shove it in back.
All right. Imagine horrible liquid here.
No, absolutely not. Tell me what the horrible liquid is.
Nope, I'm not describing that. I am moving on. I do not want to actually describe whatever horrible prank.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, no,
fair
I
enough.
don't want to do that.
Let's move on.
Something that's horrible and yet not horrible.
No,
I imagine it'd be something that would come from perhaps.
Anyway,
we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and move forward. We'll leave this to the imagination of the viewer.
Yes.
So, at the end of the downtime, there will be a meeting. We are like a week away from the next full moon.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a meeting in the tent. Now that supplies are coming in, and they are, and the dwarves are feeling more secure in their position, but in the course of the last 3 weeks, there has not been a lot of movement from the orcs. It's been pretty much like a holding pattern. They have been defending themselves. There are definitely like patrols out there, but there haven't been any large-scale attacks on the dwarves yet. Like, the orcs are clearly aware that the dwarves are massing, but they have not launched, other than a few skirmishes here and there, some of which
big moves.
There have not been any large-scale battles yet. So what do we want to do? There will be a convening of the minds where Barnabas and I think I called him Traxus, the kobold.
Yes.
Yes.
And Anton and you will sort of all gather around the table to decide what the next best move is. So let's go ahead and jump to that scene where Barnabas is saying, look, they haven't attacked us yet. We don't know what they're waiting for. They could at any time, and we are prepared for them, but we need to be able to hit them. We have an idea of where they're getting their supplies from, but I am open to ideas as to how to best utilize your abilities. And he looks at your group, and he also looks at Calder and Dream, who are both in the tent.
I have an unfortunate realization.
By all means.
Yeah.
They have werewolves.
They do. Yes. And Barnabas rubs the spot on his arm where he was bitten 5 times.
If they have
Vic furtively.
If they have werewolves, that means that they will be extraordinarily difficult to deal with, especially with mundane weapons.
What do you suggest?
We either need a lot of silver weapons specifically, or a lot of magical weapons right away.
Does mithril or adamantine work against them too?
Adamantine will absolutely harm a werewolf, yes.
And so will mithril.
And we do have silver available as well, although silver makes for poor weapons.
Just lining the blade.
Good oil.
I'm listening.
You need but magic is going to be the most reliable tool for doing them harm.
In that case, securing the forge would then be an extreme advantage.
Then we need to secure it quickly. Fortunately, of the areas that you listed that the orcs have dominance, you did not list the location of what will likely be the best mode of entry.
I mean, it'd be a little hard to
current, but doable.
Well, no, I'm saying it'd be hard for them to close off access to an entire lake.
Yes, especially one that the dragon has likely been emerging from.
Oh, no, you're not talking about going under the lake.
Yes.
Where the dragon is.
Yes.
Yes, I see.
The angry, mean dragon that we barely escaped last time.
But
correct.
What you told us, the dragon was very cocky before, and maybe has had a taste of reality since then.
From what I know of black dragons, that is unlikely to have the effect you are hoping for.
Well, he's not reclaiming his mountain by himself anytime soon.
We are aware.
He likely realizes that, which will make our offer of kobold servants all the more appealing.
We are aware that the forge has not been in use. We know that something has been stopping each faction from utilizing the forge itself. If I hate to ask it, given the trauma you've already experienced in the area, but if you can secure the forge, not only would it be a disruption to the current status quo, but also those weapons that we could produce from there would be very, very useful if they will be sending werewolves against us.
We're also not entirely sure what they want from the forge still, right? Like, yeah, it's a forge that makes magic weapons, but we don't know their end goal.
It's likely a symbol, a way of proving their might to the area, and as a way of garnering more support. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
If we get in there and we can see what they've been trying to do in there, using the forge, or if it's something else, we need to know.
So how do we know that no one, because when we were there, the great wolves, we kind of scared them off, but I wouldn't have expected them to stay scared off.
No, you're correct. They will have also established themselves again.
But why have they not started with they were the ones who had control of forge.
Why indeed?
We need to find out. Yeah. Okay, so we need to get in and see what's happening around the forge and why.
I think we can all agree there.
How long do we have until the next full moon?
So Barnabas will look to the side and says, 5 days until the next full moon.
We need to go in now.
How close are we camped to the mountain?
Say that again?
How close are we camped to the mountain? Like, how long would it take us just to walk or fly there?
It took us about...
To fly there would be a matter of hours. Okay. To walk there would be a matter of days because, you know, you don't have swoops to guide you this time.
Some of us have survival, thank you. It's not me, but somebody does.
Yep.
And
I
we know
I do have it. Never mind.
And it will be easier to spot a massive landmark like the lake from the air.
I mean, if anybody's going to get you back there, it's going to be Kretha.
Yeah.
Who's been there and has survival.
Do you have the means to get in without drowning?
Yes.
We would need at least
a little bit.
I'm not worried about I can get us through the current. It's the breathing underwater part. We would need a spellcaster capable of casting it. I can't. For some reason, it's not there. I believe it's not. I don't believe it's part of the sorcerer list.
I think it is.
Well, that's our first goal then. We need to get you some way of getting in without drowning on the way.
It is part of the sorcerer list. I would need at least one scroll of it.
You have already done battle, not battle, I suppose, with Nightscale, but you have already encountered Nightscale.
We have faced Nightscale before, yes.
My scouts have seen that Nightscale has been aggressive against the orcs, but has been unable to destroy any significant number of them. Do you feel like you can pacify the dragon? One way or another.
We will not be able to tame it.
It's our only
We will not
chance.
be able to tame it. Our best chance would be to convince it by force that our interests are aligned.
To cow him, you mean?
That is not how he will view it.
No, that's how we will view it.
Echo's looking at Praxis and being like, what's his read on the situation?
Black dragons cannot feel as if they are servants, otherwise they will destroy us.
So Traxxas will go ahead and speak up and say, there are kobolds in the Sunless Citadel that would serve Nightscale. Meepo has told us that Nightscale asked for his service. There are those of us who would be willing to leave the Citadel and come to the Stone Tooth to serve Nightscale. But we would need an opening. We would need to open negotiations.
So you're going to come with us?
Yes. Yes, I will.
It's the only choice.
What about you? And he turns to Anton. Do you swim well?
Anton kind of looks at the very heavy armor that he's currently clad in and says, swimming is not entirely my strong suit. I feel like I and my group would be better used elsewhere, perhaps figuring out exactly where it is that these orcs are getting their food from. I understand there might be some magic involved, but
we already cracked that. Just get naked and swim. It's not that hard.
No, so you're volunteering to go find the druids?
Yes, in fact. I think that cutting off the food supply would be an excellent idea, don't you?
It is tactically sound.
I and mine are more than capable of taking care of ourselves. We could find out where this food is coming from and perhaps deal with the spellcasters involved.
Calder will take a deep breath and look at Anton. I think that is correct. I do think that, tactically speaking, that is well within your abilities.
I will take the compliment, little brother. I will take the compliment.
Father would not waste you if you were not going to be useful.
I believe we have an accord, then. I and mine will go and seek out the food source of these orcs, and you and yours will go and tangle with the dragon.
I've already managed to tangle with the dragon. How often have you killed druids?
Druids?
Yes, that's the word that forgive me, I don't care about magic.
At least twice, young one. But
Ooh, fancy.
I will.
Anton,
I will do my best.
Anton, please. Anton, please do not taunt please do not taunt the goblins. They have faced down more dragons than you.
Echo's just looking at Anton and looking at all the metal he's wearing and being like, yeah, this dude can fight a druid, sure.
He's about to become intimately familiar with what heat metal feels like. That's going to be fine.
I'm sure it'll go great. Echo's not saying any of that out loud.
Gretha just hates how smarmy he is. It just does not sit well with her. It feels too
I read closely Jeff's I read closely Jeff's background.
Yeah.
Em, you were about to say something.
Oh,
yeah. Vic, I don't know how to word it correctly. Vic will offer to Barnabas in private, probably before this meeting, if there are any dwarves who want to undergo a ritual that will help them fight werewolves better, let me know.
Yes, absolutely yes. Are you goddamn kidding me? Yes. Okay,
it's gonna take a bit. It'll be like a 24-hour ritual. We'll take a day off. If Barnabas wants in, let me know.
Yes, he will 100% be in on that.
Okay, I wanna clarify this on an out of character level. I'm going to be turning them into blood hunters.
Oh, Matt Mercer, what have you done?
Basically, I'm going to transmute up to three levels of them to get them into the Order of the Lycan. And these new dwarves are going to be werewolves.
So
to fight werewolves.
Do you explain that to them before?
I will.
Yes.
Like right before it starts to be like, you can back out if you want to, but we do have like all of the ritual painting all set up to do if you're ready to keep going.
Am I and mine at risk of losing control of ourselves in this ritual?
No.
Then we agree. And he will pick Bevan and Bimothy. What was the other one?
Bathu
and Bevan.
His two cousins.
And he'll say, how many can this ritual affect?
It's literally, I'm going to infect them with lycanthropy, and then I'm going to bleed into them.
That seems normal and fine. Yes,
some, like arcane bullshit, some hemiocraft. Basically, what I'm going to be doing is taking 3 of whatever levels they have and turning those into blood hunter levels.
Lycanthrope. we will address that in the after show in a few minutes. I promise.
It's going well. I'm so glad Kretha's not part of this.
I think I know someone else who would volunteer for this ritual.
I would tell Barnabas if he wants to, if any of Anton's group wants in, that's won't. Okay. If they want to, this is a thing that will help them.
So Barnabas isn't actually going to undergo this ritual himself. However, entering the flap,
some bullshit.
Entering the tent, Kevin Bonewolf.
Yes!
Oh, yeah.
Kevin Bonewolf will make his entrance and say, "I understand that you want people to take on these werewolves, and I, Kevin Bonewolf, am willing to step up and take care of the werewolf problem."
So you know someone who might be interested.
No. Jeff, this would have been probably before you got back.
Yeah.
This is a previous conversation, and probably the reason why Vic isn't in the current scene. Because we're going off and doing weird shit in the woods. Don't worry.
Kevin Bonewolf will take on this curse and this blessing. Kevin Bonewolf will protect you.
I'm gonna just pat Kevin on like the shoulder, which he's shorter than me, so
he is
it's
shorter
like
than you, yes.
And I'm gonna go, I am so sorry about your cousin, but he needed to fucking die.
What cousin are you referring to?
There was this little time back, he tried to feed me to a vampire.
Who and where and why and also how?
His name was something Bone Wolf. I'm assuming
there are many Bone Wolves.
You have one less now. I'm very sorry.
Was he particularly sweaty?
Yeah, he was like a captain of a guard.
Ah, yes. Always the always the weak branches on the Bone Wolf tree. You have pruned it for us, and thus we appreciate your efforts.
I'm just going to like maneuver him into the woods. He's going first.
Fuck yeah.
The best. Really the best.
Can we move on?
Please.
I just wanted to make sure that was like, that's the reason why I'm not talking in the scene. I'm off doing
totally, yes,
the blood sorcery.
So okay, in character, out of character, Echo's still like, but how are we gonna breathe underwater? We haven't solved that problem yet.
Scrolls of water breathing do we has.
No, though I mean, Vic made me a really cool thing.
I will shout very loudly, Sven!
And I pull out
perfect
this small bubble thingy.
How many of those do you have?
Psychonthrope, no, they are not. But some of them are assholes, and they know they need to be culled. So we'll say that Sven will make a very hesitant and like timid appearance. He'll show up at the flap, and he'll say,
"Do you have the I'll say this suddenly in a very polite tone. Oh, Sven, there you are. Do you happen to have the means of casting the spell Water Breathing?
Why? He'll look at Barnabas, and Barnabas will once again nod at him and say, "Why, yes, I am capable of casting such a spell."
So good.
How much time would you need to How much time would you need to get us to make us a scroll, or do you need to come with us?
He immediately panics for a second, like honest to God, like panic, almost like when Hyacinth threw a knife at him, panics. I'm looking at the spell list right now because I think the water breathing lasts.
It's a third one. It lasts 8 hours.
It lasts 8 hours. Okay.
Does it last 8
or 24? No, it doesn't. It lasts 24 hours.
Yeah. So
it lasts 24 hours.
He says, "I can certainly cast the spell upon you, but to join you, no, that is not necessary. My place is here."
Do you have a scroll on you?
I have not a scroll. I could, I suppose, pen one. But
you need the one after.
Could you cast it on us?
Give us a scroll. This will allow us to use the exit twice.
As I say, could he cast it on
out of character bullshit? If he writes a scroll of water breathing, it'll take 5 days.
Okay. Yeah. So,
which
what I was going to suggest
would bring us to the full moon.
If he casts it on us and then casts it into your ring.
Oh, that's true. Perfect.
It's a third level. So.
Cool.
And then you can cast it later on us.
That's a reasonable option to me.
That's a much better idea.
Let me see what's in the ring right now. Okay, yeah. There's I can get. I only need to get rid of one spell to clear to make room for it. I will cast an acid ball straight into the air.
My, that's terrifying. It looks like it should just rain down on us.
And it almost does. It almost does, but the droplets of acid vanish right like 10 feet above your head.
Just
anyway. So the next day, after the ritual is complete,
and after Sven has had a chance to rememorize spells, yes.
Yep.
So the next day,
the spell on everyone going, and the one into the ring, and one more into the ring, and then we go.
So he will cast into the ring first, and it's a 24-hour spell, right? So he will cast the second one on you whenever you are ready to go.
Yep. So we're leaving the cart here. Can we string a net between two brooms to hold Stinky and Lou?
I'm gonna say yes. Yes, you can, but it'll make you a lot less stealthy. If you're trying to
fit in the bag of holding.
If you are trying to,
we can put Lou in the bag of holding.
I'm pretty sure Stinky can go in the bag of holding too, right? Like,
yeah, but Lou doesn't breathe. We can keep him in the bag. No, so the only issue with the bag of holding is that they have to be able to fit in the opening. And Lou is a medium-sized creature too.
Yeah. It just would the net between two brooms be stealthier than the cart? Is my question. Like, which option would be easier to stealth with?
How big is?
I'm not going to tell you that. What is the size and
approximate weight of Stinky?
Well, and we also can't take the cart underwater with us.
Can I make a survival check about which one would be stealthier?
Sure. So Stinky is a medium creature.
Yes, as is my doggo.
Yeah.
That's a 19.
So like your first thought is it possible to resummon Stinky later on? And you're not sure because it's not your magic, but you could probably...
I do know that if I disassemble Lou, it takes like an hour to put him back together.
You could probably rig up a net to like hang from a like a flying broom that would hold Stinky. It obviously wouldn't be very stealthy because you're in the air carrying around a giant fuck-all frog. But
I could also make like
it's not
a baby Bjorn.
It's also not that much less stealthy than just flying through the air with the greatest of ease, right? Like
it might be.
You're already going to have to take some sort of precautions to not be seen while flying around on brooms. You could probably make it so that Stinky is no worse than just flying there on brooms. So like if you fly at a high altitude and sort of stay in the sun, yeah, you could probably get there without being seen.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Echo is also going to give Blessing of the Trickster to whoever is the least stealthy of all of us.
So hey, Kreetha.
Yeah.
You're about to go really high up in the air. How do you feel about that?
I'm not looking for... Oh, no, it's not good.
You knock Kreetha the fuck out.
Not good.
Kreetha, you can just... Echo will suggest we can share a broom with with Stinky beneath us, and I will drive, and you won't have to look at anything.
If it's going to be two bodies on one broom, I will take Stinky.
Would that be okay? I actually had something I wanted to talk to you about on the way there anyway, so this kind of works out.
Okay.
So I have shared with you a map of the Stone Tooth, an elevation map with the various entrances labeled.
Try and focus.
You should be heading towards entrance E in the lake there, which has an underwater passage to the Forge of Fury. Talk to me a little bit about what happens on the journey.
Before we get into that shit real quick, Calder, what do you have for attuned items?
At present, my attuned items are the spell storage ring, my Bloodwell vial, and the
rapier,
and the weapon of warning.
I'm sorry. I wanted to do the scene, but we got into like other things about the fact that I have fucking flesh crafty shit I want to give.
Yeah, Calder not wild about that.
I saw that you have wands. This will let you use the wand without having to draw it.
I have 2 free hands, perfectly capable of drawing it.
It gives you a third one.
But I don't use the 2 I have.
Why do you have a weapon of warning then?
To warn me of danger and to use to stab in an emergency.
Okay, but I mean, like, that's something that you could get without having to do it. You could just have a fucking wand instead. That might be easier.
I can also summon a sword made out of my childhood trauma. Your point?
You can't hold that and a wand at the same time.
I can.
Well, you can't hold 2 wands and that at the same time.
This is true. Why would I want that?
Options?
Look, just
My
let me
wands
do
are-
surgery on your arm, okay?
My wands are of detection and magic missile.
Awesome. You can have one of those not being in your hand.
I don't need them in my arm.
Fine. Kevin, I got a present for you.
Kevin Bonewolf is willing to submit to any experimental surgery.
Kevin Bonewolf, are you still alive?
He's fine.
Barely, but yes.
He's
It's a
fine.
little courier, but it's fine.
Well, it's good to see you. Happy to see you survived.
He looks slightly different than last time.
Oh,
Like,
he definitely
pass
looks
that.
different.
Has
I'm
a
going
little bit
to-
of a musk.
I'm going to make a mental note that I owe Charlotte 5 silver.
He looks a little bit less Kevin and a little bit more Bonewolf at the moment.
His mutton chops have come down further.
Lean over to create that. I owe Charlotte 5 silver.
I'm gonna go. Okay, in that case, since you don't want the thing, Echo, this is for you. And she, Vic hands you like a small pouch. I want to say, like a little bit bigger than this, just like a small pouch.
Mhm.
That jangles.
What is this?
Quick question: do you wear shoes or no?
No.
Excellent. So it's a set of rings and like kind of like just the like it's like sandals. It's a set of sandals that have like 4 like they're like toe sandals. So they have like little loops for each of your toes and then they tie around the ankle. And then it's basically brass knuckles.
Ah! Like Echo like starts putting it on. Like, did you even like
the metal is a matte black.
Yeah, it's like a dark black. It doesn't shine. It's completely matte. One hand, one knuckles, and one shoe is like pointy, and then the other one has like fucking razor blades on it.
he puts them on? He looks amazed that you counted his toes correctly and there's only 4 instead of the regular 5.
Observant.
And he like puts it on, starts like hopping up and down in them, testing like how they move. He does a few flips.
Okay, they're very sharp. I'm gonna start with that. They're very sharp. For mechanical reasons, they're gonna give you the ability to do slashing or piercing damage with your unarmed strikes. They are also considered adamantine.
Yeah.
So they bypass
And,
most
did we
bludgeoning,
add-
slashing, or piercing resistances or immunities. Yes.
Now, were we adding +1 or +1d4 damage?
Just the +1 damage.
Just the +1 and +1 damage.
+1 to.
This is kind of like working Masterwork back into 5e, even though it's not really a thing. But I was a 3.5 storyteller for a long time, and I think Masterwork is something that's important. So yes, having the extra +1 damage and bypassing damage resistances, and you get to choose if you're going to do piercing, slashing, or bludgeoning.
So as Echo is doing his flips and trying them out, he lands and he looks back at Vic and goes, "Can I hug you? Are you okay with hugs?"
Yeah, I'm fine. Also they're like cleats, so you're gonna have to like clean dirt out of them occasionally, just as a heads up.
That's perfectly fine. Oh my gosh, thank you. Like, he can't reach all the way around you, but he is giving you as big a hug as he can.
And suddenly you hear down at your ankle, you're hugging. So, aren't you glad these don't have to be sewn to your feet?
and then we just cut over to a moment where like we've ripped off the top, like the full epidermis on bone on Gavin Bonewolf.
There's horrible screaming as it's installed into his arm.
So he has his own skin in his mouth to keep him to shut the fuck up.
God, then Bonewolf has got to show up with this.
We already say no torture on screen,
blood
please.
and gore.
Yeah,
he said yes.
Let's move right on.
All right, so
you
water invasion scene.
Are beginning to make your way out. I do need a stealth roll because you are attempting to enter an area that is patrolled at the very least. You need to know that you're not going to be viewed from the ground.
Who's got the worst stealth?
My stealth is a +2.
I am totally, of course, as always, willing to have Kreetha throw a pass without trace to give you the +10 bonus, but I need a roll.
You have the Trickster's Blessing. Make your check at advantage.
So there's all of you. I am going to go ahead and run this like a mini skill challenge. Let's go ahead and get stealth from everybody, including the advantage on whoever was least stealthy. And,
am I allowed to guide myself?
You are allowed to guidance yourself, yes.
Okay.
I have a +1. I don't know what anyone else is.
I think you're the worst, so I'm giving you the blessing.
Okay, so you get advantage.
Yes, that's advantage. Oh, you fucking
okay, so wow.
Kreetha should have a 14 because she shouldn't be getting disadvantage from her armor.
Yes, so Kreetha does not get that. I will figure out how to fix that for next time. But with that, oh shit! Holy crap!
Nat 20, baby.
Yes, a nat 20 and then also a nat 1.
Cancels out, right?
So yes, we will say that as far as you can tell, you managed to begin to sort of circle around the lake. You are still way up in the air.
So I have an explanation for why Echo got a nat 1.
And then Calder didn't do so well either.
I blame the giant frog.
You
That's
did
fair.
say you would take Stinky.
I blame Kreetha going.
So as Kreetha is, I'm assuming, on the back of Echo's broom and like just having her face in his back, Echo asks in Dwarven as they're flying along. So I mean, this question is really more for Durgadin, but like, go ahead and give me any opinions you might have. How does one start a courtship with a Dwarven king?
Okay, now there's a high-pitched sound that not everybody can hear, but maybe because of some bad stuff.
And out loud, as you're attempting to ask this, Durgadin is going ah.
I like it how the sound block is cutting off the screen.
Durgadin, buddy, rein it in. Answer my question. Come on. Like Echo's like they're there.
Durgadin, I know we're not having a good time, but at the same time, I must know, how would Echo do the thing?
I mean, so you're the only other Dwarven king I know.
Let me think as a super old school, old timey, like centuries ago Dwarven king. Uncut gems. Uncut gems would be a good start.
What? I give them to him?
Yes. Any dwarven monarch would be honored to have a gem of sufficient quality that he could cut it and turn it into something truly amazing. The opportunity to do such a thing has been considered an expression of love for generations. I love how in this particular dwarven culture, the ability, the option to do more work is the flirting. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I believe in your abilities and you can make this amazing. Here's the raw material.
Basically, yes.
Then let me braid it into your hair.
Also, yes. See, you're becoming more of a dwarf already.
All right, uncut gems. What if I mean you're like a master forge crafter and all this.
I mean, I will. I suppose.
Barnabas isn't really. I don't. He's not a crafter by trade. Would gems still be the appropriate gift?
I think perhaps you underestimate his abilities. You have to understand, I have touched Barnabas's mind. He has the soul of a crafter.
Necro kind of looks down at the bracers that he is wearing.
There's a saying. There is a saying among my family of what one should do in regarding dwarves. Study what their grandfather did.
And with that, I'm imagining
how to defeat a dwarf, but still.
I am imagining like the group like circling in the air and then diving with the brooms directly under the water.
I was gonna say, yeah, we get out to the middle of the lake and go in.
Aretha like is like, wait, just putting on her bubble.
Well, we had the magic cast on us, but all right.
Yeah, but she does it anyway.
Think about that. She's got a bubble.
Listen, there's breathing water, and then there's not having to adjust to breathing water.
There is also the unfortunate side effect of Echo is driving their broom, so he goes into a 90-degree dive.
Yeah, this is
I'm right behind. I'm like freaking same, and much. I do not care what Stinky's response to this is.
Stinky is happier to be heading towards the water than anything else.
Vic just thinks in her head, I'm so glad I waterproofed lube.
So you crash into the water, and the cold darkness envelops you, but you're able to breathe. Let's start with light. How are we seeing? I know there's a lot of dark vision here.
Light?
I have light,
but do you need it?
Mm-hmm.
Dark vision imposes a penalty on perception checks in the dark.
But do we need it?
We don't need it, but I would prefer it.
Okay.
I mean, Creetha and Calder are the ones that went through this passage the other way, so they're the ones guiding us in.
I'm kind of assuming that Vic has some sort of like spotlight available, so I'm okay with like
spotlight if necessary. I can like pop it on the broom.
Yeah, I'm okay with you having like an industrial like fucking almost like a bullseye lantern, except
like a full ass like
a big flashlight,
a British torch.
Yeah. So yeah, you're able to sort of spotlight around, and you're able to find the almost hidden underwater passage. That said, the underwater passage had a lot more debris in the way the last time you were here. It's clear that it's seen a lot of use since the last time you were here. Mm-hmm. And you begin to make your way up, and I believe it was about a quarter of a mile of underwater. In the dark, and you begin to find yourself in more familiar territory. Those of you who have been here before, that is, you kind of feel this is already a bog, but there's a certain, I don't know, tang to the water as you get close to a black dragon's lair, and you find yourself coming out into the Stone Tooth in the Black Lake at the bottom of that fell place. And I need a perception check from everybody.
I mean, before we emerge, I'm using the wand of detection.
Okay.
Just to have that up.
Sure.
Can I use it through hearing or smell?
I am gonna say that hearing is possible, breathing. Smell is not.
Even with water breathing?
Even with water breathing, yes. This area is too dank, as it were.
Hearing wise.
Okay. So, Vic, well, let's go from bottom to top. Echo, yeah. It's cold and wet and dark down here. And like, you can breathe, but like you're underwater, and also this place does not bring back great memories.
Well, I've never been here
you
before.
weren't here. This was Charlotte. Never mind. You don't know this area. Yeah, you don't know where you are.
I don't know anything at all, and I do have to say, Kreetha is in the front of the broom now. She was guiding us in here, so Echo's like a little behind her, not seeing very well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So next up, Calder. Now you're generally aware of your surroundings. You have very good dark vision. There is some light being projected, but the problem is like there's a lot of silt. It's really not super clear, the water. So you're able to look around and you see some disturbances in the water, but you're not sure, what's going on. There are some creatures down there. There's some fish. There's some shit. Vic, you definitely hear something big moving out there.
Okay.
But it's hard to tell exactly what direction and what it is, but you're definitely on your guard. Kreetha, you catch just for a moment on the corner of your vision, like a shining black scale that disappears into the dark of the water. And as you begin to sort of make your way toward the surface, because this underwater passage makes its way to the very bottom of the Black Lake. As you begin to make your way towards the surface, Kreetha, you're able to see the vortex of water as it moves towards you. And then, of course, the Rapier of Warning sounds its signal to anyone within 30 feet. And we are both going to call for initiative and then leave it like that for the evening.
Okay.
Do we want to roll initiative now or next time?
We'll roll it the next time. However, I will say that Kreetha specifically, because you rolled so highly, as Nightscale makes his way towards you, you notice that his face and his body are covered in arrow scars.
Oh, gosh.
This is not the same Nightscale that you faced the last time. This is a Nightscale that has been in battle many times since the last time you saw him, and his face and his body are pockmarked with arrow scars and slashes and burns. And with that, my friends, we are going to go ahead and end the session and jump over to our talkback show. So thank you very much for watching. Let's go ahead and jump over. So yeah, we're going to start off next game with Nightscale Redux. That's right. Nightscale Part 2. And I know for a fact that you players wanted to know what would happen if you actually got into fight with this one, because we ran that shit. After the game was over, we got together privately and we ran combat with you versus Nightscale. And now it's going to happen on stream next time. Be here.
Wait, hold on. We said we were going to bring our new kobold friend with us. Whose broom was he on?
The kobold friend is there as well. And by the way, we'll go ahead and say that Thomas joined you as well. After all, he said he wanted to come. Before we do that, how many people can water breathing affect?
I think it's
like
up to
a lot.
10.
It's a lot of people.
It's a lot.
Okay,
it's
then yes, high. Thomas will join as well.
Up to 10.
Okay,
yeah, up to 10.
Then yes. I did not bring Thomas in because he's an NPC, but
our party plus Stinky, and those two, that still leaves us with 3 more.
And Lou doesn't have to breathe at all, so that's not an issue.
And Creetha has her hood, so she's yeah.
Okay, so before we launch full on into the post-game show, I would like to give us a quick 4 or 5 minute break so that we can do some bio stuff, maybe grab some water, grab something to eat. It's currently 9:05 p.m. Pacific. We will be back in 5 minutes, so 9:10 p.m. Pacific, and then we'll go ahead and do our talkback show. So if you're here, please stick around. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. We'll be back in 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about everything that just happened and what might happen going forward. Thanks for watching so far. See you in a little bit.